Hey everyone, and welcome. So today we are jumping right into one of the most exciting fields out there, where biology literally meets big data. If you've ever been even a little bit curious about a career in bioinformatics, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to lay out a super clear step-by-step roadmap to get you started. All right, let's dive in. So let me ask you something. Do you just love biotech and the life sciences, but the idea of spending hours and hours, day after day, in a traditional wet lab just doesn't sound like your thing? Or maybe you're really into the whole IT world, but you still want to use those biology skills you've worked so hard for. If you're nodding your head right now, then bioinformatics might just be the perfect career for you. Here's the game plan for today. We're going to cover 5 key things. We'll start with, what is bioinformatics anyway? Then we'll get into building your foundation, putting together your toolkit of skills, how to get that all-important hands-on experience, and finally, we'll look at the awesome career paths that this can open up for you. Okay, let's kick things off with section 1. What in the world is this field that people are calling the new frontier of biology? Well, at its heart, bioinformatics is a mix of a few different fields. Think of it like a mashup of biology, computer science, and statistics. And its whole job, its entire reason for being, is to help us make sense of the absolutely insane amounts of biological data we're generating these days. We're talking about things like the entire human genome. I absolutely love this analogy. It's so perfect. Bioinformatics is like this super powerful engine. You can bolt it onto just about any area of biotech, drug discovery, personalized medicine, you name it. And suddenly, everything starts moving way, way faster. It just accelerates the whole process. And this slide really drives that point home. See, in a traditional wet lab, with all the chemicals and beakers, discovering a new molecule could easily take 10 years, a full decade. But in a computational dry lab using bioinformatics, you could get similar or even better results in maybe 2 years. You're basically swapping your lab coat for a laptop to speed up discovery like never before. So you're interested. I get it. But what's next? Well, in section 2, we're going to talk about building that rock-solid foundation of knowledge you're going to need to succeed. It really all comes down to these 3 pillars. First, and this is the most important one, you have to master the core concepts of biology. Then, you layer on some computer science basics, and finally, you get a good handle on some key statistics. Let's break that down a bit. Okay, I really need to stress this. Biology comes first, always. The industry is not looking for just any coder off the street. They want biologists who also know how to code. You've got to really know your stuff, the central dogma, genetics, genomics, because at the end of the day, you can't analyze what you don't understand. Now, this right here is where a lot of people get scared off. They think, oh no, I'm not a coding genius. I don't have a degree in computer science. Well, let's just bust that myth right now. You don't need one. Seriously, if you have basic computer skills, like you know how to install a program and find files, that is genuinely enough to get your foot in the door. All right, foundations in place. Now we move on to section 3, assembling your toolkit. This is where we go from theory to practice, from what you need to know to what you need to be able to actually do. And here's a little secret that surprises most beginners. Your journey doesn't start with learning Python or R. Nope. It starts with learning the Linux command line. Why? Because pretty much all the powerful bioinformatics software is built to run on Linux. So you gotta master that command line first, then you can move on to the fun stuff like programming. Now, when it's time to program, the 2 big languages in this field are Python and R. They are incredibly powerful, but don't worry, they're also known for being really beginner-friendly. You'll be using these amazing pre-built toolkits or libraries like BioPython and Bioconductor that do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And you'll also pick up some SQL to talk to all those giant biological databases. And this right here is a huge mindset shift. You do not need a piece of paper that says degree in bioinformatics to get a job. Think of it as a skill. I mean, do you have a degree in PowerPoint? Of course not. You just learned how to use it because you needed it for your work. Bioinformatics is exactly the same. It's a powerful tool you learn to get the job done. Okay, now for what might be the single most important part of this whole roadmap. Section 4, getting practical experience. This is how you show employers that you don't just know the stuff, you can actually do the stuff. And the path to getting experience is actually pretty straightforward. You start small with little projects you can manage. As you do them, you document everything on a public GitHub profile. That's your new resume, your portfolio. And then you use that killer portfolio to land internships or join research projects where you can work with real, messy, fascinating data. And let me tell you, this quote is pure gold. Employers want to see what you can build, what problems you can solve. A single, really well-documented project on your GitHub is worth so much more than a pile of certificates from online courses. It proves you can apply your knowledge, and that is everything. And that brings us to our final section. You've built the foundation, you've got the skills, you've got the experience. So what's next? Let's talk about the exciting career paths that are now open to you. You can really break it down into two main career types. On one hand, you've got the analyst. This is the person who uses all the existing bioinformatics tools to answer really important biological questions. They're the end user. On the other hand, you've got the developer. This is the person who actually builds the software tools that the analysts use. That path tends to require some more advanced computer science skills. And your education level definitely plays a big role in what doors open for you. With a bachelor's degree, you can get great entry-level jobs. A master's degree will give you a lot more independence and let you lead more complex projects. And if you're aiming for those top-tier industry jobs or you want to work abroad, a PhD is often the key. And yes, let's talk about the money, because this field has huge financial potential. If we look at a market like India, for example, someone with a master's might start at around 40,000 rupees a month. But just a few years later, with some solid experience, that can skyrocket to over 2 lakh rupees a month. That's a 5-fold jump. The growth trajectory is just fantastic. So what's on the horizon? Well, the future is all about combining different kinds of biological data. Genomics, proteomics, all of it. And the engine driving all of this is going to be AI and machine learning. To stay ahead of the curve, you have to be a lifelong learner. Seriously, bioinformaticians who don't embrace AI are going to get left behind. It's that simple. So we'll leave you with this one final thought. With technology getting better and cheaper every day, the amount of biological data in the world is absolutely exploding. It's messy, it's complicated, and hidden inside it are the answers to curing diseases and understanding life itself. So the real question is, are you ready to be the one to figure it all out?